and welcome to Milk Moxy. My name is Jalyn. I'm so excited to be here with you. And let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am a board certified lactation consultant. I've been working in the breastfeeding world for about 11 years. And I'm also a mom of 2 lovely children who I was able to breastfeed for a combined time of 5.5 years. I definitely experienced the ups and downs, and I'm someone who's just really passionate about helping mothers and families with their own breastfeeding journeys and help them to reach whatever their goals are, whether it's 6 months or a year or 5 years of breastfeeding. So a little bit more about me. I ended up in this field really in a very not straightforward way. I have a background in chemistry and chemical engineering. I spent a couple years learning about midwifery and decided that wasn't the right path for me. And then I went to acupuncture school. I have a master's in acupuncture, and I did private practice in acupuncture for about 5 years. And towards the end of that time, I got pregnant with my daughter. And it was my experience with her, my challenges with her, that led me to go from just being a breastfeeding mom to studying it and eventually working in the field. And what's really interesting is that my journey with her was actually more challenging than it was with my first child. So more on that later, but that's a little bit about me. So I am an international board certified lactation consultant with a master's in acupuncture, and I really do try to weave my background in Chinese medicine and also nutrition, herbs, and in my personal life, learning about self-development, mindset, and how all those things can help support breastfeeding. So you might be wondering, why Milk Moxy? The original spelling of Moxy is M-O-X-I-E, but I changed it. I made the name of the channel Milk Moxy with a Y just because it's a little more catchy. But Moxy is all about confidence, determination, and boldness. And these are, in my opinion, the key elements to having a breastfeeding journey that is fun, right? Fun and enjoyable, and one where you are able to reach your goals and you feel confident that you can reach your goals. That's the vibe that I wish that all moms could have, that Moxy, that Milk Moxy. What I'm trying to do with this channel is to blend the holistic with the practical, with the scientific, with the traditional medicine. Just blend all those things, because breastfeeding is a holistic journey. It's not just about getting the baby latched on and how many ounces of milk you make, right? It's so much more than that. And I think making it a body, mind, spirit approach is how you can breastfeed with Moxy. It can actually be enjoyable. It can be a smooth process. And I think incorporating a holistic approach is what can help you have that kind of experience. So we'll be talking how to make sure you have a good milk supply, but we'll also be talking about how acupressure and the right mindset and herbs and nutrition can also impact those things. I know that there are a lot of concerns and fears around breastfeeding. If you're pregnant and you're trying to get some information and trying to prepare, well, you're in the right place. Milk Moxy is the channel where you will receive the right preparation for breastfeeding success. But I understand that it can be overwhelming, right? Because there's so much information on the internet. You're hearing horror stories, you're hearing all these women talk about how it's so hard and I didn't make any milk and I just couldn't do it and it's too mentally draining. You hear all types of stuff. So it can be very scary going into it, and you might not feel that confident. I can understand it because, again, there's so much information and so many stories out there that suggest that breastfeeding is just too hard. I understand your concern, I can understand the fears, but I also know that you can do it. You can do it. And this is what this channel is all about, helping you feel like you can do it and empowering you to have the confidence that you can do it. Really start a new narrative around breastfeeding where it may be hard, but guess what? We can do hard things, and we can do them with confidence and feeling good and feeling strong. That's really what this channel is going to be all about. So again, the core topics we're going to be talking about on this channel, it's going to be a combination of just real talk, just me talking about my experience, the experiences of moms that I've worked with, and practical tips about getting started, getting off on the right foot with breastfeeding or the right breast, getting your supply where you want it to be, managing those early days with the newborn, all of those things to support your breastfeeding goals. We're going to talk about mindset and mental preparation. And I think this is something that you don't really hear a lot in the world of breastfeeding when you look online for information. And to me, breastfeeding is 80% mental. The latching and all that is obviously a big part of it. But if you can't get your mind right, it doesn't matter how much milk you make, and because you won't be able to sustain it, right? You have to have that mental perseverance, that determination, that confidence, and sometimes it can be hard to maintain that level of focus, right? So we're going to be providing tools and just a different approach to breastfeeding so that you can stay confident, stay motivated throughout your journey, even when things get tough, which they probably will at some point. But again, we can do hard things, right? We can get on the other side and feel like a badass at the end of the day. So, my daughter just looked at me because I used the word badass. Yes, you should expect short, actionable videos. So if this is something you think you might be interested in, make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell so you'll never miss a video. So I'd love to hear from you. If you can drop a comment below about your top breastfeeding concerns or any questions that you'd like me to answer on an upcoming video, let's start this conversation and build a community of confident breastfeeding parents.